Robot penis in my face. Fantastic.
3, 2, 1. Cool. And then that causes a spike, and we see it all.
Was that in that voice of yours again? The 3, 2, 1. The 3, 2, 1.
3, 2,
robot.
1. 3, 2, 1. Robot penis in my face.
Yes.
Oh, I
You're just
get it. The
waiting for
mic is the
Cyberpunk,
robot.
right?
Yeah.
penis. Oh, I was like, how random is that? Okay, I see.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, where did you get that from? Like, is that some deep-seated
Yeah.
Dark web stuff.
Dark web stuff, yeah.
I
Or
guess they
Family
all
Guy.
do kind of look like sperm cells.
What does?
Mike's, look at it. A little head of the sperm cell, the cord is the tail.
Ah.
That's true. They are phallic.
They are phallic.
Except
they are
Tony's.
that. I think that's Tony's introduction to the podcast,
Yeah.
describing sperm. Hello world, this is Tony.
Yeah, this shit's on my mind 24/7.
Yeah. We're gonna tell them we're a PG podcast. We're actually a G-rated podcast.
So that, like, no
yeah,
swearing?
No swearing. Yeah. Not at
Gotcha.
all. Yeah.
Gotcha, B.
That's
We're trying to get on the Family Channel, you know.
Yeah.
We haven't
yeah.
succeeded yet, but we're
No.
trying.
Nope.
Yeah.
At no point have we.
we've slipped
not-
every
No.
time.
Yeah.
Close to the end.
We're the Stepsis channel though. We're close to that one.
Right.
Yeah.
We're probably closer to that than Family Channel.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's a family channel still.
It's tr-
I didn't
it's
clarify
true.
what kind of family.
Yeah.
We're actually usually not this dirty on the podcast. We usually actually.
Well, you
quite-
started with sperm. We can't
Yeah.
go anywhere.
No, I heard stepsis, and that came after sperm. I was thinking y'all was talking about type of porn. You stop paying
Oh,
attention.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we were. But we didn't say the word porn because again, we're a family podcast.
Right.
We were.
Right.
It turns
We
out.
were, yes.
Sorry, guys, ruined that for you.
Sorry, it wasn't working out very well to begin with. So.
Sex education is
Just-
important, man.
It's true. Yeah.
Just stick to the script, man.
That's where. I was
It
gonna
wasn't
say-
in the email.
It wasn't
Yeah.
an email.
No, good. I've been saying though, we don't want a Patreon. We want OnlyFans.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's
we
where
want-
the-
It's
more
where the
money.
fans are at.
Yeah, it's most of the only actually
Yeah,
is where the
it's
fans
true.
are. Yeah. So that's the plan. I mean, the long game.
The long
you know?
game.
Yeah. And
Can
yet
you-
another reminder, it's supposed to be a family channel.
Yeah. No, but OnlyFans doesn't have to be like pornographic.
No,
Right.
just graphic.
Just graphic. No, like who says? I don't know why you can't just have like a bake sale fundraiser on like a
Like how that chick sold her bathwater to people.
Oh,
Beldell
right.
Gamer Girl bathwater.
Yeah,
Back
that's
on
right,
the topic of the
Dude.
podcast.
That is weird, right? Like, who's buying that? Clearly, someone's buying that,
Yeah.
but
She made bank. She made bank on that
yeah,
too.
no.
You know what? For $30 a pop, it didn't taste that great.
I want my money back.
like I've had some good bathwater.
But that's not one of them.
Oh,
man.
I
Thanks.
think
Your timing was impeccable.
yeah.
Cheers.
I honestly think if we had the podcast going at the time, I think we would have probably bought a thing of Belle Delphine bathwater and had
Just to try it.
yeah,
I mean,
Just-
yeah. All right.
Sure.
probably just because that's
It's an investment, Annie.
Right.
yeah, that's how you get the audience. You drink. That's what all like the channels did. I think was drink Belle Delphine bathwater.
I
It
mean,
was like a rite of
you
passage.
get the views, yeah.
Man, it's crazy, man. You go on Twitch and like the streamers that get the most amount of eyeballs, all female.
Of course.
They're fucking
'cause-
terrible at games. Sorry. Beeping terrible at games.
We actually had this idea on the first podcast. Christian was gonna go in and edit out all the swears
Yeah.
with like different swamp sounds, like a frog or like a.
Something
Toad.
plopping
That's
into water.
ingenious. Yeah, that'd be great.
But then we realized how
never
long
got
it
to
would
it.
take to edit it. And like, we're never
Yeah,
gonna
just
release
think
this
about
podcast.
that.
I think it'll take work, and I don't have time.
No. Yeah. If anybody out there wants to do that for us,
That'd
we
be-
will not pay you.
We'll
Pay you with our
we'll pay you with
gratitude.
all our AdSense.
We will not.
Just zero.
All that, but we will also give you no praise, and we will not.
No credit.
Yeah, no credit. Won't even tell you good job.
Can't go on your demo reel.
No. But please.
Volunteer.
I can imagine Kevin volunteering and then just doing his own podcast and releasing it instead.
yeah, or like going over a
That'd be the
swear
best
word
troll.
and just like taking like 20 minutes to like just say stuff.
to
That'd be
explain the
amazing.
swear word.
Yeah.
This is the root of this. This is the origin of this word.
Latin
This is where it comes
root of
from.
the
And
F
it's just
word.
him like playing FIFA for like most of it and just like silence, but you just hear his like FIFA in the background.
That'd be amazing. Whoa.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
John Cena.
Oh boy.
Let's
There's
get
big
into it.
news. I had a day today. I had a day.
I got a John Cena story, but you should go first.
You have a John Cena story?
Kind of.
Okay, I'll tell my story. Well, mine's just news. This is like
Yeah.
hot news. So John Cena got married this week for all the people that are not on the
Cena train.
on the Cena train. Yeah, to a person from Vancouver who works for a tech company and is like a sales engineer. Yeah, in the city, a normal chick, and she's Iranian, which is also super cool, right?
Yeah.
Just John Cena out here meets a random chick in Vancouver, starts dating and gets married. That's like the most John Cena thing. Like,
Didn't they make a movie about that? No, never mind.
but John Cena's wife in an older comedy, Cock Blockers, yes,
Oh,
Cock
yeah.
Blockers, was brown,
That's true.
right?
That's a good movie.
Interesting, very fun movie.
Yeah.
No, but super cool. So anyway, so I saw that, found her LinkedIn profile. I'm like, oh, I'll add her on LinkedIn. 5 minutes later, she accepted, and I was beaming.
Boom.
I'm 1 degree of separation away from John Cena. Like John Cena might have been in the room when that notification went off on her phone.
Sure.
I love how excited you are.
I've
yeah.
never been this. I told Anne, and I'm like,
It's adorable how
I
excited
don't
he
think
is.
I've ever
It's super
been
sweet.
this excited about anything in my life.
I mean,
And
it would be
that's-
super cool to meet John Cena.
No, I told Anne, you have to run into. We know where she works.
Already
Right?
creepy.
So you stop.
I would stop there.
No,
Yeah.
because we found
Next time restraining order.
As your legal advisor.
out what's John Cena gonna do to me. Like, yeah. So,
Dude, if you think about it, you're kind of like John Cena and this Iranian chick's love child. Because you did pro wrestling before.
I did, which
And
they
this
don't know.
chick does
Who
sales.
doesn't know. Oh, yeah.
Right? So you're kind of like both of those
Honestly,
things.
that's actually true.
You're like
That's
their
both
surrogate
worlds.
baby.
Oh, don't say that. I'm gonna blush.
You've already been doing that all day, so
That's
you're good.
true. I've been beaming all day. It's lovely. Yeah. So that's exciting. So, but the thing is, she's working from remotely. We found out by stalking your LinkedIn. So, but
It's like in Florida? Is that where...
probably because they got married in Florida.
Mm.
I wonder how long that prenup was that she signed.
Dude, imagine
be a big
interviewing
one.
this chick.
Dude,
It would
okay,
be
so that's
fascinating.
so that's
You
the
get
thing.
hired just on the fact that
Dude, I was saying, because I'm like, what if I go back to recruiting and I
There you go.
I reach out just for like a job opportunity,
Yeah.
and then I interview her, and then
Dude.
I didn't tell it, so I interview her, and then like she gets the job, right?
Of course.
And then I'm like, oh, we should celebrate with our partners and get a drink,
Mm.
and then that's
That's how you meet
that's
John Cena.
that's how you do it. I thought of
Dude,
that.
the
I-
strategy is there.
Oh, I
man.
thought of multiple ways
Sure,
to
it's,
approach
it's
this.
foolproof.
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah. So,
Would you
Oh,
have to
yeah.
move to Florida for that?
no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the
Florida.
friendship,
Yeah, it's all worth it.
it's all worth it.
It's true.
He golfs.
He golfs.
You
He
golf?
golfs. I don't remember. I'm bad at golf. So I had to learn how to golf.
Wait,
But I
no,
feel
no,
like
You
that's
got a
good.
lot of practice on your Wii.
Yeah, I do.
No, but that's great because then you'll never win a game against him, so it'll always feel really good.
Oh, it's
you know?
true.
Mm.
And
Always
we
invite you to
Michelob
play.
Ultras on the golf course together.
That would
Boy can dream.
I'm just
Nah.
feeding into the fantasy.
That would be quite nice.
Yeah, but no, it's it's some.
There's something there.
There's something there.
Yeah.
We're
Dude, yeah, so last year, at one of the studios I was in, the guy sitting next to me checked into a hotel room in Vancouver, and turns out John Cena was living in that same room the previous night, and he left his protein powder there.
Oh my god.
So he got John Cena's protein powder.
Oh my god. Does he still have it? Can I see it?
I don't know if it still exists, but
How much does he want for it?
Put it in little bags and then sold it online.
Yeah. I mean, he's moved to Australia and Montreal, and then possibly back here since then. So
Wow, we made a killing off that protein powder.
Yeah, right? It's like bath water, but John Cena's protein powder.
So I don't know, but like I mean, it seemed like it was pretty decent. So that was it. That was the end of my story. But I thought
How do you know it was John Cena's protein powder?
Because he stayed at that room.
How do you know that John Cena was there
Yeah.
though?
They told him, like the
Oh, they
hotel
did, okay.
people. Yeah. I
Did
mean,
you
he's
tell
already
him not
gone.
to
It's not
wash
like
the
a whole
sheets?
thing.
Leave the room exactly as is.
I would be
bask in John Cena's glory.
That's
I'll
like,
pay extra.
That's like
Yeah.
flushing thousands of dollars just down the drain.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure someone kept a pillow or something.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
wild.
man.
Wild.
Dude, maybe, yeah, so he's probably going to be around here more often.
Yeah. He
than,
goes to Joe Forte's. I also have the idea of actually getting
How
a
do you
job
know
at
that?
Joe
Love that
Forte's.
place, man.
It's a great place. Great oysters.
So good.
Great.
Wait, how do you know he goes there?
He's like photographed there.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Like, just paparazzi? Like, or is
Yeah.
it like in Joe Forte's, they have like a gallery of
Just
people
John
that show
Cena.
up? Just John Cena.
Just empty shots of the
I
entire.
gotta see the wall.
No, like he's been like just photographed there and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah. So
He's got taste.
he's got taste. So I'll meet John Cena one. I feel like yeah. Anyways, we won't get into it too much because the whole podcast could be about this philosophy, but
Very easily.
very easily. But one day,
One day.
one day.
I just like he wears like a blue suit doing all of his interviews. I like that. He's a put together guy.
Oh yeah, he's a giant troll too.
That too, I love
He's
that
a
about
bloody
him too.
giant troll. Have you seen his Instagram account?
No.
Dude, he's like 10 million followers and posts the weirdest stuff.
Yeah, so fucking
He
random.
never posts-
Ryan Reynolds.
Maybe even weirder, man. Like he posts the
It's pretty random.
yeah.
Yeah, what is like the closest like encounter y'all have had with a celebrity? If you've ever met a celebrity in real life,
Not really.
Trying to think.
like
Yeah.
the closest you've gotten to one.
Like
I mean,
Dude, I've had like multiple, and it's weird
Yeah.
that I've had a lot.
Hmm.
Yeah. So Elijah Wood, little guy from Lord
Yeah.
of the Rings, he was in Dog at the same time as me,
nice.
and I didn't even notice because he had his hoodie up and stuff. It was my ex at the time who noticed. He's like, "That's Elijah Wood. That's Frodo
Yeah.
sitting right there." And I look over, and sure enough, it's him. And I don't want to like be a dick and just cause a lot of attention.
Yeah.
But people were whispering in the restaurant, and this gorgeous chick, right, just the hottest girl, walks in and sit down next to him, and then they walk out of the restaurant together. And the funny thing is, she was like 5'11". So seeing them walk out of the restaurant together was kind of funny.
She was Gandalf.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the Lord of the Rings thing. That's
Like I've met Adam Sandler in real life.
That's
He was
cool.
in what was it? Santa Monica, and a beachfront restaurant. He was coming out of the restaurant with his wife and 3 kids. And like I came up to him, and I was fangirling hard. Like Adam Sandler's my favorite. I'm telling him, it's like, man, I'm the biggest fan.
Yeah.
I've watched all your movies growing up. And he comes back with, "Oh, those movies aren't exactly child appropriate."
How old were you?
I'm just like, I know. That's why I'm so messed up today. And he thought it was a little bit funny. We took a picture. Yeah.
What's
This
your
was
favorite, Adam Sandler
when I was
movie?
20. Dude, Happy Gilmore.
Happy
Yeah.
classic,
Yeah,
easy.
it's a
I'd
classic.
say.
And Waterboy. Oh shit.
I don't think I've
Waterboy
ever
is
seen
so
Waterboy
good.
in full. I've seen like
Yeah, I
parts
feel
of
like
it.
I've seen clips of it, but
Yeah.
I've never actually seen the whole thing.
I've seen Happy Gilmore like 10 times.
Yeah.
And his latest movie, Uncut Gems.
I haven't seen that yet.
Me either.
Brilliant, man.
No.
It's so good.
Heard good things.
Yeah.
I really like Grown Ups. I don't know.
I think I saw Grown Ups one. The first
I enjoyed
one.
it. I've seen it a few times.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Dude, Click. I cried at the end of Click.
Oh
I
yeah, Click.
Dude, click. Yeah.
Unexpected. Yeah.
Billy Madison. That's
Yeah,
a
Billy
laugh.
Madison,
You're having
yeah.
a good time.
I remember Billy Madison.
Oh, it's one of his old. It's like mid '90s classics.
Mm-hmm.
I must have
I've seen that one like 5 times too. I think I had the DVD of both Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison in one.
Double feature.
Double
Little
feature.
Nicky.
Little Nicky.
Little
That was
Nicky.
okay,
So
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Dude, there's some
forgot about
jokes
that.
in Little Nicky that if you were to try that stuff like today,
It wouldn't work. Yeah, no,
No,
you get
man.
canceled immediately.
you would get instantly canceled.
That's a lot of like '90s like comedies.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah.
like
Good
yeah.
point.
What was the one
Borat.
with? What was the one? Big Daddy. Love Big
Oh,
Daddy.
Big
Yeah.
Daddy.
Also emotional,
Mm-hmm.
right? Flips on you a bit.
Yeah, he's got that undertone to him in most
He
of
can
his.
do Spanglish. I've seen that one a few
That's
times.
a great movie.
That's
Oh,
a
I don't
great
think I've
one.
ever
too.
seen that.
It's a dramedy. He's like a
I
chef.
have seen
Man,
that one.
Punch Drunk Love was honestly one of my favorite movies of all time.
I don't think I've actually seen Punch Drunk
See,
Love.
not a lot
that
of people
either.
know about that one, but he's in it, and he's like he plays a more serious role,
Yeah.
and it's actually so good.
Yeah, he's good at kind of turning comedy on its head a
Yeah.
little.
Yeah.
He's clever at that. Like, I mean, I don't know if I know he's in Funny People. I don't know what level he had like creative control on that. I don't know if it was written by someone else. But that was pretty heavy too. That was interesting.
long. That was like 2.5. That the movie was like it was good.
Yeah,
but
I guess
remember
it
just
was
being, like-
slower than most of his other movies.
Have you seen the new one that just came
No,
out?
the hubby
one?
Halloween
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
It's honestly like you know like the type of humor that he does.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of like bathroom humor, a lot of
Yeah,
like
slapstick.
ridiculous stuff. Yeah. It's a little over the top in that regard. I looked at that and was just like, you just came out with Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
And then you drop this turd. And it's like, no, this one's a little.
Maybe you need to get one out of his system, you know? Like
Yeah.
a literal turd. Like just get it out of your system and then go back to something like Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
I find that's most of his like Netflix stuff. It's all.
It
kind
does
of
seem
pretty-
like that, yeah.
There was
There's
this
even like
one
a
where he
giant
was-
deal with them, right? Like
Yeah.
a 7-movie picture deal.
There was this one where he was this like talent agent. This like weird. It was like in the '90s where he's just like talent, like
Okay.
like an actor's agent and
yeah,
stuff.
like an Asian, yeah.
And it's just like super weird. It's a super weird.
Yeah,
like,
you can go weird
comedy.
really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently Liz started watching that one, the new one, and she was like, "This is so weird. I don't
Yeah.
understand what the hell's happening."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually encountered any, like, not a big celebrity. I've seen people like from TV shows and shit, but no movie stars, I would say.
I've
I
seen
was
like
working in a coffee shop and the cast of Twilight walked in.
It's like Pattinson and
Yeah, like all of them.
Wow. Wait, would
I
they,
remember
did they
that.
film
I feel
that
like
here?
they wouldn't walk in. I feel like that's a big like thing.
Yeah,
No,
that's
but
weird.
like the thing is, like the coffee shop was the one where the Cafe Artigiano, the one in Kerrisdale.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And that's where they were filming out there,
They were
and so
filming
they
out there.
figured it was just a small coffee shop, and they could all walk in without it drawing like a huge crowd. They couldn't do that downtown, for example.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, definitely not.
That's near high school. That's near like was it Lord Bing? Not Lord Bing. It's near high school though, in 41st and like
Mhm.
Kerrisdale.
They filmed Deadpool right beside my office.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I saw them film Deadpool, which was funny because
We
they were
could
filming
see
it
the
in-
motorcycle chase
Yeah,
from
yeah,
like our
exactly.
office window, and they
That's
blocked
cool.
off that entire street.
Yep.
That's cool.
wicked.
Meanwhile, working in banking, you're there like 2 a.m. when they're shooting.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I saw the guy from The Flash in the gym. He was literally like right behind me, and I'm like, "Holy shit, that's him!" And then I showed him my tats and took a picture. It was cool.
I'm more surprised I haven't seen. I see. Who's the guy that hosts the CBC News? George.
No idea.
Ian Hannamansing. Yeah, he's like I've seen him a couple times at the gym, and I'm like, I'm surprised I haven't seen more famous people or like not like D-list celebrities at the gym.
Yeah.
Because like everybody's got to work out.
Yeah.
Like I guess they could go to like a expensive like
I mean, I feel like a lot of them
Equinox
are
and stuff,
probably
but-
downtown. Like they'll probably work out downtown.
yeah
I would
Equinox.
imagine. Yeah, Equinox. Yeah, that seems like the go-to.
yeah.
Home gym too, no?
I
And
think it's a
that,
home
yeah.
gym, but I'm not talking about like the A-list. I'm talking about just like
But even a lot of like TV actors, they don't have home gyms because they're
Yeah.
like only staying in Vancouver for a couple months and then
Yeah,
go
yeah.
back to LA, right? Yeah.
But no, yeah, I've had no real like wrestlers here and there, but just being in the wrestling circuit and stuff,
Right.
like that are part of the shows.
Hmm.
Like you say hi, shake their hand, but like Diamond Dallas Page, like more like '90s, like Val Venus and stuff, like late '90s, like wrestlers who were famous then and kind of aren't too famous now.
Hmm.
But like, I don't think I've ever like met anyone really that famous in person.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently, Liz saw Tom Felton at the airport. Malfoy.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's cool. I went by what is it? Seth Rogen. He was
Oh yeah.
by Emily Carr.
Your ex met Seth
Yeah,
Rogen. I
there's a
remember
picture
that.
of your ex where
This
Seth
was at a
Rogen at the
dispensary?
dispensary.
Oh yeah.
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 Crab met Aaron Paul. I remember that.
Crab did meet Aaron Paul.
Yeah.
That's dope.
That was cool.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was nice.
Christian, how about you?
No, we just walked by Seth Rogen and a couple of like actors from Flash and stuff like that. But I always get like, man, like they must be so bothered by people talking to
That's
them
what I
that
would
I
feel
just
as
try to
well.
be like, oh hey, and then just keep moving on, kind of thing. Like give them a little sense of normality.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know. I think I had my like first like, oh whoa, that's a guy from TV. Like I think like day one of landing in Vancouver. So after that, I'm like, oh yeah, they are just people. Of course they're just people. It's like why wouldn't I? But it was like the first time that wall broke of like TV and reality finally meeting. And you're like, oh, okay. And then after that, it was I don't know, much more relaxed. My family met, or I think my dad met Jackie Chan in Hong Kong.
That's cool.
I think we were on the, but like at one of the restaurant openings, which is pretty sweet.
That's dope.
But
Woolloomooloo.
I wish.
Dude, I
No,
can taste that steak. It's so
It
good.
was so good.
We should go back.
We
Well,
should.
maybe not right now, but
Yeah, eventually.
fair.
For multiple reasons.
Yeah.
I remember at the Lego store, did you ever meet that kid from that Once Upon a Time show?
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like the main actor, young actor on a show on NBC called like Once Upon a Time about like
oh yeah.
Fairy tales and
fairy
stuff.
tales and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember like everyone was like, oh my god, first time he came in the Lego store, we were like, oh my god, wow, it's that kid, and we're all taking pictures. Like
Dude,
I
I
don't
spoke to him for 20 minutes and I was just like, I feel like I've seen you somewhere. And then he left the store and then Mason was like, dude, you spoke to him. I was like, who? And then he's like, oh, he's from Once Upon a Time. I'm like, oh yeah, I thought I recognized him. I mean, it was cool. He seemed pretty chill.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I think I sent you guys a picture of that time who's the guy that does all the roasts? The Comedy Central
Oh
roast.
yeah, him.
Yeah.
I sent a picture.
you did send that. Yeah.
Ran into him at the airport at LAX. Man, he was super nice. Didn't ask him to roast me though.
Yeah, just gone ham.
I feel like those like not D. He's kind of like a D-list celebrity. I feel like those probably enjoy getting recognized. Where it's like
It's still fresh for them. I guess.
Yeah,
little bit,
yeah.
right?
He seemed to like appreciate the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like
He,
it's
he was
kinda
super
the-
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh,
Definitely
totally.
the nicest out of anybody I've. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like unless you're someone who like, let's say you're like A-list celebrity level, I feel like you probably would enjoy getting recognized.
Yeah, you just
It's
appreciate
like, oh
it.
yeah, thank you, because they're always like, no one's like, hey, screw you, Michael Phelps, you know, right? Like,
I mean, I'm sure people get that too, but I feel like the positives outweigh the negatives in that regard.
yeah, true.
I hope so.
Yeah.
This is the weirdest gaming podcast ever.
Yeah.
Is it band?
Oh, yeah.
Time over at 20? Oh, this is how the band. This is regular banter time. We haven't gone over a band. Okay, banter police.
Man, y'all say I gotta keep y'all in line. The second I do,
All right, Christian, what's
Hey,
up?
take that
All right,
segue,
Christian.
man. Taking charge.
All right, big
forcing
boy.
that segue. Well, our topic today was gonna be Counter-Strike, no?
Yes, with our guest Tony.
With I guess Tony.
Yeah, I thought Counter-Strike type of games, you know?
Yeah. First-person shooters. I guess that would be the genre.
Yeah, first-person shooter. I thought we gotta hone in because you probably all have Counter-Strike stories.
I mean,
Ourselves, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. You used to play it as a kid.
I mean,
True.
gaming history. I guess. Short
Yeah.
little rundown of gaming history.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna give you guys the short rundown of Counter-Strike, which I didn't realize started off as a mod.
It did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
happens.
1.5.
Oh.
Yeah, started off as a mod. Yeah, and exactly in Half-Life by two guys. What were their names? Jess Cliff and Min Lee or Min Le. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. And they started it off just kind of like trying to like just make a game because they were both fans of like the idea of like, oh, what about like, you know, this counter like terrorist kind of group, and they just wanted to make like a little short game to kind of like play around with it. And they tried to get their friends to play. It's like, oh, do you want to play this game that we're working on? And everyone was like, no, we don't want to play. So what they did is they just kind of released it for free as a free mod, just online.
Yeah.
And slowly, like, the community started just like building around it because it was just so much fun. And they had series after series of just releasing updates based on what the community was giving back, because they're like, well, you guys are enjoying it, we're enjoying it, so let's see what you guys want in there, what you don't want in there, and stuff like that. And it kept getting more and more popular that Valve actually took note that who are these guys, because they were checking out like these servers that had like this mod on it, right? And we're finding that there were spikes to like, oh, like the first time playing there was just like, you know, a couple hundred, but every time that they did a reboot, like a patch to it, they found that it was like going like 800 to like 1,600 people, you know, kind of jumps in all these patches, because
Right.
it was just becoming like more and more fun and the word was spreading, which I thought was like an incredible way to start like this game. And in like 2000 and like their fifth like mini version, Valve actually went to them and was like, and they bought the
Yeah.
idea, which I'm like, holy crap! It started off as a mod, and because the community was having so much fun, and they kind of continued to build on it afterwards. Like when they bought it, the guys that built it were talking about how they, my brain, how they were, I think rightfully a little worried, you know, like would Valve like step in and would they try and make big changes, you know, like to, and they were like, the one thing that they like promised like to never change, which they've kept their word on for as far as I can tell, is like that if the community wants something, like they have to have this open dialogue. If the community wants something, just do it, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, that's awesome. Like how,
Yeah.
But man, Counter-Strike as it is
This
now
thing.
for Valve is a money-making machine, dude.
right?
Yeah.
The way that they've monetized it, the ability to get skins in the game, and some of these skins are worth thousands of dollars too. Yeah, it's insane. No, but like the way that I got into shooters was, remember the old NES systems, duck shooter?
Yeah.
You had the little guns.
Yeah,
Was
Yeah.
that
that's
the
one
last
of the-
podcast?
Yeah, we started talking about Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was super into that game, like just in my childhood, right? Because you had so much control over what was happening. Versus things in like Mario, there's things that can happen that are annoying. You might make a mistake and fall in a pit, but at the end of the day, like Mario's kind of like a linear game. And now people are doing things called like speed running on Mario. It's like how fast can you get through these levels, and you can reach a certain cap, and you're always pushing the limit. So the reason why I like shooters and not on consoles either, on PC, is because you can keep on pushing the envelope, and the skill ceiling is so high that every marginal increase feels so much more rewarding, right? Versus like, I don't know, say for example, like I never got into like sport games because you're kind of limited in terms of what you're able to do, right?
In terms of experience
Yeah,
or
in terms
leveling
of experience or like your skill.
up. Yeah. Okay.
Like the skill ceiling is relatively low. People can get into it a lot easier. Or something like, you know, like an open world, like, I don't know, World of Warcraft, for example. Like, WoW.
Yeah.
It's like I never could get into that because at the end of the day, it's just farming, right?
Yeah. there's a
But
lot
like
of
with
grinding.
Counter-Strike, like the way that I got into it was I built my first gaming computer, and I could like run crazy games on it, like Battlefield and whatnot, but chose to go for Counter-Strike, which is very like low intensity on your computer
Yeah.
in terms of hardware. Like any computer can run it, but I chose that anyways because I can tweak the CPU, the GPU, the settings and whatnot, improve my performance that way. But at the end of the day, like tac shooters like Counter-Strike, it's like all about like communication, strategy, like very precise mouse movements, how to use your utility, how to like work with your team to use your utility and all of that. And so that's the reason I fell into it. But there's a reason I fell out of it, and that's a story, man.
Damn. I guess maybe we'll get into like everyone's, I guess, first experience with Counter Strike.
Sure.
Really, right?
Y'all played Counter-Strike?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
dude.
How is
Yeah.
this the first
Back
time
in
I'm
the
hearing
day.
about
Dude,
this,
I
man?
played
all
Counter-Strike?
played Counter-Strike.
I played Counter Strike on the original Xbox. They had
Oh,
an
2003.
Xbox, yeah, exactly. 2003 Xbox Live version of Counter Strike. My first experience playing that, but it was the same game as as that version of Counter Strike, but just made for the for Xbox, right?
Yeah.
It was fun. Like you could tell like it wasn't meant to be a bit played on with the with the gamepad, right? But no, it was a good time for like being like 10 years old.
Yeah.
Right, like I wasn't very good, but it's still like, you know, getting a couple good games in there and stuff.
Yeah.
On the at all those like different maps, like was there like a police station, I think, or like there's like a snow level. There was like I wasn't that big into Counter Strike myself, right? As you can tell by my names of of the different levels and stuff. But
Yeah, I remember playing it on my.
D-Dust.
That's
D-Dust,
That
yeah,
bring back
yeah,
some
Dust
memories.
too.
That's
There
it.
you go.
Yeah, I remember playing it on like this brick of a laptop that I used to have. Like my dad used to have it, and then I would just take it and play games on it. And Counter Strike was probably the first game that I ever got on that. And like you said, yeah, you could play it on anything, so that could actually run it without any issues and problems. And I was like, holy shit, this is sweet. So it's like one of the first games I ever actually like played on that laptop. And I didn't have any consoles at the time, so that was kind of the only avenue of gaming. And then I kind of played that a fair amount. I played online maybe like once or twice, but like dial up, and it wasn't that great, and it was just be shitty. So I just play like the arena levels. And then in high school, during like our web design class, people would have LAN parties. So yeah, that would be a lot
Those
of
are
fun.
so much
Yeah,
fun.
that would be super fun because you're in the room with a bunch of other people playing it as well.
You're
So you can
screaming
start
at
like
each other.
screaming at each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's super fun, interactive. Our teacher's just like not giving a fuck because he's just like, okay, you guys finish your assignments and you're done. So it's literally the way it was set up was one side of the class was LAN party for Counter-Strike. The other side was LAN party for StarCraft. So they were just
Dude,
So
those
it'd
are
be-
the best
it'd be crazy.
games to play.
yeah, so
Yeah,
it's super fun, and yeah, I have like some fond memories of that. That was awesome.
StarCraft, oh man.
yeah, I never got into
I
it,
never
but
got
I would
into StarCraft
watch them
either.
play it, and they would be really good, and I was just like, holy shit.
Man,
okay,
I
I'm gonna
tried
go
to
back
get into
Counter-Strike.
it because, as you know, that's Korea's national sport.
Yeah.
And I suck at Counter Strike, man. I just can't.
you
Oh, StarCraft.
Yeah, StarCraft. I just can't. It's just too
Yeah, I
complicated.
couldn't get into it
I'm
either.
a disgrace to my country.
You're never getting those Korean supermodels.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's so funny.
Mine was the same as you, where it started off in like in high school, where I think it was someone downloaded it and put it on like the school server, so any computer at school you could access it. So you just have to know where to look. So yeah, same thing during like media whatever like
Yeah.
class, you just start playing it. But the difference is we weren't really allowed to.
Yeah,
so
so
you
you
would
had to
see a
hide it.
lot of people who would learn how to do the was it like alt tab kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
Like so you'd be playing and then you'd have to alt tab and everyone's like, "Don't kill me, don't shoot, no." Like I've got to pretend to work. Like the teacher's behind me kind of thing. And then after that we would that was the game that we would actually play when we would go to what is it like the what are they called? Just like a gaming cafe where it's just like loads of it's just
Sure.
LAN parties,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Like you
yeah.
just go and they're very very common. I'm not so sure about here, but they're
there's
common here.
gaming cafes.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like people don't.
It's not as not much. That's
Yeah.
not as much. But I remember going to one in Richmond.
Oh yeah, like they're here. for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, okay,
You have to
cool.
go
I
to
played
one.
Counter Strike there actually as well
Yeah.
in
We-
Richmond.
We should
yeah.
go to one when COVID kind of gets lessened up.
Yeah.
a bit.
That was
they're
actually really
yeah.
fun,
It's
yeah.
a good time.
So much fun, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was like some of the best memories. You'd go there and we still do that like every once in a while when I go back to Hong Kong. We would go like set a day. We'd all go and meet up at a gaming cafe because you could just buy beer there and food. So you would just like and you could rent rooms and stuff like that.
Oh, that's
Cool.
cool.
That's
So
cool.
you would rent a
Yeah.
room.
Cool.
You'd just be like back to back, like with your friends, just playing like
Yeah.
Counter Strike or a strategy game or something together, and you just order a shit ton of beer and just get drunk
Wow.
playing.
That's
and then,
awesome.
See,
and then
that's-
you go
that's not
downstairs, and then you're right in like one chai, so then you can just go and
Oh,
continue
perfect.
drinking and
Oh.
party.
Those were
was
huge
great.
in Korea,
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
That's
It's
awesome.
fun, man.
That's the best thing you're gonna get is my place for that. It's the
Yeah.
closest you're gonna get.
Pretty
to
much.
drinking
Yeah, that's
beers
true.
and,
But that was exactly like when we couldn't decide what we were playing or when there was like a discussion. All right, well, what are we gonna do or whatever? It was always Counter Strike while we were figuring stuff out.
Yo, you know, I have a theory on that because like you guys all said, like me too. I played it at LAN parties at school as well, but like no other type of game, like except for tactical 5 versus 5 shooters, not even shooters, things like League of Legends, right?
Yeah.
Dota, or these
Yeah.
are the biggest titles in esports right now, and I think the reason why is because of the amount of communication that's needed to play these games.
For sure.
You can't just solo these games.
Yeah, it's
You know
a
what I
tight
mean?
Yeah,
knit
it has-
team kind
yeah,
of
it's
thing.
a
Yeah,
teamwork,
yeah.
Yeah, it's the teamwork aspect of it that makes it like that much more intense
and
almost.
fun, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I get that with the Warzone. You
Yeah.
know? We getting some good bros. Paul and Scott maybe on that.
Yeah.
Buddy Justin. Brandon doesn't like the Michelob Ultras, but that's fine. We'll give him a pass on that sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes we'll see. I'm like, you like the Michelob mediums? You don't like those? No, but the Ultras, you don't like those either? Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Someone's salty.
Yeah, dude. At the gym. At my gym. Discussing my beer.
Yo, have you guys played Left 4 Dead?
Yeah, I was just
Yes.
gonna say.
Shit, another one of those like teamwork
That's what I
things.
heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The land, like the arcade thing. Like
Yeah.
that was another one. It was Left 4 Dead and Counter Strike.
Yeah.
I think they're remaking Left 4 Dead 2.
Are
Oh,
they
really?
Oh,
Cool.
Amazing. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing
So
is
much
that
fun.
is I was mentioning this about the Warzone. It's probably similar with Counter Strike a bit. is it brings people together,
Yeah.
right? Like even just like having a couple beers, Michelob Ultra sponsored.
Please.
Please.
And I was like, y'all have a sponsor?
Dude.
Shoot.
Dude,
We
okay.
almost had you.
Yeah. Imagine. No, we were planning to do like fake ads though, like
Yeah.
ad breaks where we throw in like just well, we had an idea. We don't want to spoil it for this. We'll tell you afterwards. But
Yeah, okay.
yeah, we got some ideas.
All right.
Yeah. But, you know Pepsid, not Pepsi. Pepsid.
Pepsid?
Yeah.
Like the stomach acid?
Yeah. They're almost on board.
Pepsin is the stomach acid. Wait, what's Pepsid?
Yeah, that's the some. Oh no, Pepsid's for when you're like when you the Asian glow. You take Pepsid.
Oh yeah. The enzyme.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh yeah,
We almost have the
they're almost
enzyme.
on board.
Well, that's good to know.
Oh,
It's the first time hearing of it, but that's good to know.
I feel like we just say this is gonna just
it just comes into play.
It just
yeah.
happens.
Put it out there in the universe, you know.
Yeah.
Left 4
but no-
Dead, yeah.
Left 4 Dead, but no. But I was saying about the Warzone, right? You get quads going in Warzone, right? With some buddies, and like it makes you way more into it than just like by yourself or with random people. You get like so more invested in the teamwork and the collaboration. It's like a sport. It's like playing like it's basically like a sport.
Well, yeah, that's why you said it. Based on all these esports games, they're all team-based games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to be part of a team, and there's that communication and camaraderie that comes with that too.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it, like it's crazy.
Like the one thing that I didn't like, I can't wrap my head around how StarCraft got so popular, because like that's not a team game. In fact,
Strategy.
playing on a team like
It's a
2v2,
strategy.
it makes it kind of hectic, too hectic.
Mm.
So it has to be 1v1. Those best StarCraft games are played 1v1. So I've always wondered like how that came to be.
I think it's like strategy, like chess. You know, like
Yeah.
a really interesting game of chess. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as in my opinion, it's not as exciting as something like more team.
But then again, there's like also Street Fighter, right? That's a 1v1.
Yeah. Street
Yeah.
Fighter's
And there's
very-
also like, Super Smash. That was
Yeah.
a huge like esports
Yeah.
title back in the day.
I think it's like how in real sports, like tennis is an UFC, right?
Fair, yeah.
They're equivalent. Yeah.
I guess it's like fighting. It's like martial arts. The amount of technique that goes
Absolutely.
into StarCraft. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and like they make a move, you
And
make
it's
a move
strategic
and
too,
stuff.
so you have to
Yeah.
actually like. It's real time strategy. So you're actually like making decisions on the fly while the other person is also making decisions.
and you're trying to counter them or
yeah.
predict what they're
So no
gonna
game
do
is
and-
ever
yeah.
the same. They're always different and changing. And that's probably what makes it exciting.
Definitely true.
You played like you played like pretty like high level like Counter Strike, like in regards to like the your skill level at your
Yeah.
peak, right?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I was up there. I guess in terms of like tiers, like rank tiers, for example, like you get all the way from something like silver all the way to like the global elite, and I was, I guess, 3 levels below the global elite. So I was at what was called legendary eagle master. So it was like 1, 2, 3 levels separated. But yeah, that tiny 1%, that's global elite. Like that's the ultimate goal, right?
Right.
Chances are no one's
Yeah.
gonna reach it. So in that sense, there is no like victory ever. It's just a constant working and
Chase.
improving
Right.
on something. Yeah.
Yeah, because even once you get there, you have to maintain that position, right? Which
Yeah.
means you have to keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like the mentality of all athletes, if you think about it. Like, even if they break like a record or coming in gold, like you don't know if the next year you'll be able to
Yeah,
compete at
keep
that level.
that.
Will you be able to maintain, or do you have to like push further because now they know what to beat? You know, like the competition.
Yeah, it's like you said. It's like the martial artists. They have to defend the belt. Like they're not gonna. It's not like they're gonna keep that shit.
Yeah.
And
True.
if you like
Someone's gonna
if
come
you have like a bad game, do you almost like drop a tier? If you like, obviously you're gonna lose games, but if you have like a bad KDR in a game, you're gonna like maybe
Yeah,
drop a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah, it's definitely based wins on losses, but yeah, like ranking down, D-ranking, it sucks.
Dude, I know what
It
you mean.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gotta hurt.
And like I guess I don't know how you to even call it. I guess it's like a sense of urgency to want to climb back up.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I had that. The closest I've had that is probably in NBA 2K, where they have like 10 different levels. They have like amateur, high school, college, or whatever, and then up to the Hall of Fame rank. There's 10 ranks, and like you have like I think you have to win like 4. I think you have to win 5 out of like 8 games to move on to the next rank. Or if you lose, you get dropped to the previous rank.
Shit.
I think that's how it works. So like you're playing these games online, you're like come the last game and you're like last shot on the line, you're like let's go kind of stuff, right?
That's kind of cool. You actually feel, I mean, to some regard, obviously the athletes who are in it are feeling way more of that pressure, but you do get a sense of that, you know, there's something on the line, like there's an actual consequence to it. It's kind of fun.
Do you find with 2K I was like this where if I played a lot I'm really good, but if I don't play it for like a month and I lose all my kind of skill and I have to kind of like grind my way, like spend a few days probably playing it pretty hard to get back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, muscle memory is a huge thing. And like switching over from Counter-Strike to Valorant, the amount of muscle memory I had to unlearn was insane. So like just to give you an example, right? Like in Counter-Strike you have what's called a movement technique called counter strafing, which is where you press the left and right keys, you know, one after the other so that you halt faster. But in Valorant, as soon as you let go of that key, you've already stopped and your shot's accurate. Right? So you have to be standing still to have an accurate shot. Same in Counter-Strike, same in Valorant. But in Counter-Strike, say you press a key and you let it go, you're still drifting in that direction for a split second. And to correct for that split second, you have to press the opposite key. And so that movement pattern that I learned, I had to unlearn it for Valorant. And it was so frustrating and so hard because it looked like people were hitting shots that they shouldn't be able to hit in Valorant. Versus like you would never get away with that in Counter-Strike. Like you would miss that shot in Counter-Strike.
Do you think there's like a little bit of assist in newer games, like because like Counter-Strike itself is quite like is based off of like legacy builds.
I mean, I
right?
feel like they probably just maybe even cleaned up some of the like I don't like they're not glitches obviously, but you know certain parts of the writing of program itself. Like if like say you're saying like when you move it there is still like a split second of the character itself moving, and that might just be like something that's been written in Counter-Strike since the beginning, and they've never really bothered changing
like
that.
recoil, for example.
Right.
Yeah, that was a huge thing. That's an original Counter-Strike.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
That's a legacy thing. But the reason why they did that, I think, is so that you're now responsible for all the control that you have in the game versus leaving it up to random chance.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that kind of ticks me off about Valorant is that there's so many things that are randomized. For example, like your first shot accuracy is off in Valorant. Your recoil pattern is different every time in Valorant.
What makes it so? Why is it like that?
That makes no sense.
I don't know.
That's weird.
And it's frustrating. And it frustrates a lot of CSGO players. And a lot of them have actually gone to Valorant, checked it out, didn't like that aspect about the game, and then reverted back.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm
Yeah,
not
that makes
going
sense.
back to Counter-Strike. Hell no.
Why?
Yeah, this is a story, y'all.
Oh,
wanna hear
yeah.
Oh
here we
yeah,
go.
Let's get
we
into
do.
it.
Yeah.
Shit.
I didn't plan on telling this today.
Yeah, it's a bit of a story. So in Counter-Strike, there's an economy, right? Skins economy. The different skins you can get for the game. Some of them could be worth thousands of dollars. Some of them even hundreds of thousands of dollars if you get the right patterns.
Jeez.
There's rumors, kind of like a myth about a dude in Saudi Arabia that has, you know, a collection of skins that are worth like millions of dollars.
Wow.
And the thing about the Steam market and the transactions is you can anonymize it. So there's a huge problem with like money laundering, right?
Right.
Terrorism financing.
Right.
It happens. And the fact that this guy might be from Saudi Arabia, terrorism financing, it's like a whole thing.
Not so
Anyways.
Counter-Strike there.
Yeah. I never had
Terrorists win.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Oh, snap. Oh, jeez. Yo,
Sorry,
you should post
continue,
that in the
yeah.
forum. That's hilarious. But like I never had $1 million inventory, not even close, right? But I started off with like maybe a $500 inventory, and I traded my way up to an inventory that was worth pretty close to $10,000.
Whoa.
Damn.
Yeah, it was a fat inventory, and like, you know, there's YouTube channels on explaining how people have accumulated money and how to hold on to certain items, wait for the investment to appreciate, and then unload. Sticker capsules, for example, at tournaments, You think a sticker you can put on a skin on a type of gun in a game? How is that worth anything? But you'd be surprised. Some of these esports like athletes, their signature on a sticker can be worth thousands of dollars. It's insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, the team logo on a sticker, you know, I Buy Power Hollow stickers, they're like what, $2,000-$3,000? Don't quote me on it, I don't know, but they're expensive. And so, yeah, I had an inventory that you know, took all this. It was kind of like stock trading, but a different market, different types of assets being traded. And I don't know how this happened. I only have a theory as to how it happened. Maybe it was when I took my phone in to change out my SIM card before I went traveling. This is the only way that it could have happened, because the Steam Mobile Guard Authenticator requires you to verify via text message whenever you log in from a new account or a new machine, whatever.
Yeah.
And somebody had access to my account. I don't know how. I got hacked. My entire inventory got cleaned out. I lost maybe $10,000 worth in assets, right?
Jeez.
Things that I could leverage my credit against, for example.
Yep.
So this is like a personal financial thing. And when I got hacked and my inventory got cleaned out, you could see who these items got traded to
Right.
in the history.
Yep.
They're all Russian bot accounts.
Oh,
weird.
So
And
they were cleaning it.
Yeah, they were cleaning it exactly as you would do money, right?
Yeah.
They were cleaning it through multiple accounts. And so I raised this issue with Steam support, and they were essentially like, well, you're responsible for safeguarding your own account. I'm just like, well, how'd they get past the Steam mobile authenticator? I thought that was supposed to be bulletproof.
Right.
And they're just like, well, you must have given your password to somebody. I'm just like, that never happened. I have a $10,000 inventory I'm trying to protect. And I went to them and I saw an article about how Stewie2K, which is a pro player, he got his account hacked, all of his inventory cleaned out, and Steam restored it for him. So they have the
Okay, so they have the power.
capability
Yeah.
to trace back, transactions made on their market
Yep.
They're just not going
and
to
then
do
returning
it.
items to their rightful owner. They
Yeah,
have
like-
that capability. They just don't do it for anybody,
Right.
Except
You got to
for
be like a
the
public
pros.
figure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like he's got followers and fans, and he'll,
He can make
raise-
waves for them.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the reason I don't play Counter-Strike anymore is because whenever I log back into my account, which once had skins, right?
Yeah.
And every time I'd
empty.
play and people would spectate, my player model, they'd be like, "Yo, are you trading that knife? Are you trading that skin?
Right.
Is that for sale?"
You've
That
got
is
interested
that is an
people.
epic looking skin. That's a hilarious name tag on that skin. I had a automatic shotgun called Harambe's Revenge.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
And they're just like, that's amazing, right? And so it's heartbreaking every time I go back into Counter-Strike. I open up my
Over
player
just
model and
empty.
it's just a blank knife, stock knife,
God.
stock guns.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why would I want to play that game anymore?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
hurts to even look at it.
Yeah.
I lost
Yeah.
$10,000.
Damn. Hey, you got a good story on a podcast, though.
That's brutal.
You know
Is it
what?
worth 10 grand? We'll find out later. We'll see if this investment
Pepsi comes up
yeah.
big. We'll see.
But fuck, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
so
especially the
shitty.
part where it's like, yeah, when you know that they can like fix it,
Yeah.
and they just
And when I asked them, this is the best part, man. Steam support, what they came back to me when I asked them, is like, why did you restore this pro player's inventory? Why can't you restore it for people that have, put
Just
work
regular
and time
people.
and
Yeah.
effort into building an inventory? While you have the capability, why wouldn't you just restore it? It'd be so easy.
yeah.
And they came back with, we have discussed and we've figured that this is no longer a concern that we can answer. They pretty much told me to fuck off.
Yeah, that
Right.
was a very
They
corporate
told
way of
me
telling
to
you
fuck off. And I was like, okay,
Wow.
if you're gonna do me like that, I'm not coming back.
At least
to,
take me out for dinner
I'm
first.
not-
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna come back to the game. I'm not gonna come back to your platform. I'm
Right.
not coming back to Steam
Yeah.
Oh.
I feel you.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
and
Yeah, screw
Valorant.
those guys.
That's Riot. It's a totally
Oh,
different
that's right.
platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh.
And honestly, Valorant's more fun.
It
Oh, it
sounds
is?
pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's more
It's
fun.
one of those things where it's PC only, so I haven't had the chance to. But it's hopefully going to come like
They
PS5.
are,
PS4
yeah.
and
They've
stuff.
announced it. Yeah,
Okay,
it's gonna
sick.
come out
I'm
on
down.
console. But the thing is, it's gonna be like playing Counter Strike on console. It's just not gonna work
Yeah.
Right.
because you
Right.
have to factor in recoil, you have to factor in movement, and you just can't do that.
And
with
the way-
trackpad.
And the way to do that, they'll have to use some form of like auto aim or dampener, and that's just gonna take away from the feeling of the
Yeah, they just
Exactly.
nerf everything down in
Yeah.
order for your movement to stick better. But
They've got to have the option for console players to only play with other console players. It's
Right.
the only way it would work.
Yeah.
And I think they most do, because with at least with Call of Duty, you can do PS4 only, and then you can do crossplay allowed as well. So they usually do that both.
yeah, they should probably.
Both options.
Probably the wisest option would be to do crossplay, but just within consoles and let the PC gamers.
That would be nice, because that's with Warzone. It's a pain where you go up against someone who's on the PC and you kind of tell, and it's like
Yeah.
But you want to play with your Xbox buddies too, so you gotta put up with
you gotta
that.
take that.
It'd be
Yeah.
interesting,
Take the
yeah,
L.
if if like future games will start adding that in like your online game, that they'll have like little options that you just tick. It's like include other console, include like play.
Some
was
poor
it-
dude playing on his phone, like, screw this app.
Yeah.
Oh man,
you
well,
got like Call of Duty iPad
Stadia?
gamers and stuff too, right?
Well, I was saying this. I was gonna mention it back when Christian was talking about like playing Counter Strike like in class.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, there's guaranteed kids playing like PUBG and Call of Duty
Oh, for
mobile
sure.
on their phone
Mobile,
during
yeah.
class. Like imagine when you imagine like you in like grade 7 in school with an
Dude,
like,
that'd be
like
so
a
weird.
phone.
I
like
just-
with all these
Dude, I'd get no work done ever.
like I guess we all had Game Boys, but like I feel
that's
like
a
I would
little
be-
more obvious,
that's-
like this chunky thing that's
Yeah.
only used for
Yeah.
games.
Not the same
exactly.
thing for sure.
But I think like now we know as like as a generation that's grown up with games, we also know how to mess with these kids who are playing in class. They're like, "All right, I'm gonna confiscate your phone." That's whatever, right? But it's like I'm gonna confiscate your phone and then play and reduce your KD ratio, you know, kind of thing. And then they're like, no, please, I'll pay attention in class.
That's
Ooh,
a
that'll
teacher
mess you
mess
up,
with
yeah.
you up.
It's like, all right, yeah, then put that phone off and pay attention to class. Like,
Yeah.
if you can't
Yeah, that's a
answer
good
these next
point.
5
Is that how you lost
questions,
your
That is a
skins,
good
Tony?
point.
Is that how you...
Yeah, my teacher stands. Oh.
Dude, that's a good point. I guess a lot of teachers, I mean, soon enough are gonna just be people who've already been playing this shit for a while.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna improve your KD.
Yeah.
it's like, God, that's pathetic, Jason. Come on, man.
It's like broadcast your poor KD to the rest of the class.
Twitch to the whole class.
The
there.
teacher becomes
Yeah.
the bully.
Yeah.
Get your shit
how
together, Jason.
the turns have tabled
Turntables.
turntables. Yeah, but no, it was with Counter Strike. I never got that into it. My nephews did. They would play like I don't know what, like I should ask what level they played the Counter Strike on, because they were like, I'd go over and that was the game they played. They'd be always be playing, right?
Hardcore in it.
Yeah, and they were super into that.
Yeah, I
for a
never.
few
I mean,
years.
I played it like when I was a kid, and then I played it for a bit in high school. Just everyone else was playing it, and I mean, it's still fun. Like it's one of those games where you can pick it up and get into it relatively fast. Like obviously, there's challenges and difficulties and skill levels that you have to attain, but more or less, it's like point and shoot. So that's not like people can get the hang of that relatively quickly. I think that's and the fact that you can literally play it on anything. Like you don't have to have like the best computer in the world to be able to run Counter Strike, which is nice because I don't have the best computer in the world.
Yeah.
Better one now, but yeah, that was definitely pretty ideal. So with Valorant, so you were explaining that it's still an FPS, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's different because you're not shooting guns.
Oh, you are shooting guns, and it's focused around the gunplay,
Okay.
but it's augmented by abilities that are unique to each character. So in Counter-Strike, the one thing that everyone has in common is everyone can buy a grenade, a flashbang, a Molotov, whatever. Everyone can chuck those. Everyone can buy them at the start of the round, etc. Everyone has an equal economy,
Right.
and that economy is the same for your team all the way through to the end of the round, until the end of the game. Versus Valorant is you come in with different heroes that have different abilities that cost different amounts of money.
Oh,
And it's how you mix and match those things to create combos like you would in like League of Legends
Right.
or like Dota. The timing of these abilities and the way that you shape strategies around using this type of abilities
So-
that's what makes it that much more interesting and a more, I guess, a thinking intensive game than Counter-Strike.
So it's the same in the sense where you do have to purchase these abilities as you
Yeah.
go on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Same
you're
as
more-
in you purchase the guns too.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Well, that's what I was.
Yeah.
So it's like a. Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
And the abilities aren't designed to kill, although getting killed by abilities is the number one most annoying thing in Valorant. Man, I remember when Raze, which is a character that has a rocket launcher for her ultimate, throws grenades, has a Roomba that moves up on you and explodes.
Yeah.
A Roomba?
All of these things, yeah, literally a little Roomba.
Does it like pick up stuff off the ground?
No, it
That's what it
busts
uses
along
as
the
shrapnel.
ground. Yeah.
Well, that's
When
what it should use
finds
as
you-
shrapnel. It just green stuff and it blows it up on you. You're like, ah!
That would be cool.
Man, you should see some of the gameplay footage on like YouTube. It's actually, it gets intense.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, other than that, it's all gunplay. Yeah. The
Yeah, it
one
sounds
thing,
pretty interesting.
you know, I think the Riot developers too, they're listening to the community a lot more so than what Counter-Strike has. Yeah, and they're taking into consideration feedback from the community, which Counter-Strike, you can't really tweak that game any
Anymore,
further
yeah.
than it already
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
Because any changes you bring to it is going to throw off the balance of the game. And the game is already, I think, the most balanced game I've ever played.
Really?
Yeah.
With all those different characters and abilities.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Because there's usually one character that's like, oh, that's the
Sorry.
He's talking
Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike.
I'm talking
Sorry,
Counter-Strike, because
yeah.
everyone's the same.
Yeah.
Yo, Valorant needs work in terms of balance.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's
that makes
always,
sense.
that's a
because it's
trade-off.
Character based.
Yeah, that's always the trade-off.
Yeah.
I
I
always
guess that was the thing in StarCraft, which is what made it so great, was how balanced it was between Zerg, Terran, Protoss.
Right.
Yeah. There would be, the meta was controlled. And so in Counter-Strike, you know, you have your roles, right? You have a sniper, right? You have an
Yeah.
entry fragger, right?
Yeah.
You have, you know, support. You have second man. You have in-game leader, right? The guy who calls the shots.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody has their roles. Everyone follows the roles. And if you do your job properly, you'll win the round. And that's Counter-Strike. Valorant, the one thing that's annoying about it is the randomness sometimes. So this, you know, the recoil pattern's different every single time. You know, the randomness in terms of if you pick the team composition around characters that don't complement each other, right? You know, that's also luck of the draw on who you get as teammates. Do you get a teammate that understands team composition? Do you get a teammate that doesn't? And yeah, it's and the number one most annoying thing in Valorant for me at least is, how do you explain this? Correcting for peeker's advantage.
What does
I
that
guess
mean?
y'all wouldn't really. Do you experience that in console?
Peeker's advantage.
So in PC first person shooters, the guy who exposes himself and shoots sees you a split second faster than the guy who's holding still sees them.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if the person who is kind of the person who sees you first,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, there's always kind of...
See,
but
there's,
like-
there's always that, and that has to do with network latency. Yeah. So because, you know, someone with like a high network latency all of a sudden peeks around a corner, when they're actually moving, the model moves ahead of them, in a sense, to the person that's
Oh,
looking at
weird.
them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so to the person that's looking at them, it almost looks like, you know, the moment you hit the guy, the hit actually looks like it occurred further behind
Sure.
Right.
because of the lag.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what Riot does is they correct for that, but they overcorrected. And so now people that have high ping, it just looks like you're running and hit random headshots.
Oh.
And for
okay.
me, like, I'm playing this game against somebody, I'm holding an angle with the sniper rifle, which is super expensive in that game, and they just zoom around the corner and pop me in the head. I'm just like, where did he come from? Like, am I this bad at the game? Like, did I not react fast enough? I'm like questioning myself. But
So,
it's that. It's just a technical error.
I had two questions. First, in, I guess, both Counter-Strike and Valorant, do you play in clans? In, like, groups that you always play with? Or is it always random for you?
You have the option, yeah.
But I guess for you when you play.
Oh, when I play on my main account, yeah, I play with the stack. Yeah, I play with the stack of people.
Oh, that you always kind of play with?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. And I had a second question, but I forgot it, so it'll come back to me one of these days.
Yeah, and dude, that's a key thing, man. Like that is the most important thing when it comes to like these team-based games, like tactical shooters, MOBAs.
Yeah.
Is how well do you work with the other 4 people on your team? Because every once in a while, when I'm playing solo queue, I'll get like an asshole, right? Or someone who's just toxic.
Right.
Or you'll get somebody who just doesn't have a mic to begin with.
That's the worst.
Oh, so
And they're just
they're
not
just muted.
communicating
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
That's a big disadvantage.
Oh, that's
So
not great.
my second question, I remembered it was, is there skilled matchmaking? So when you play, are you playing against people that are on the same skill level
Yeah,
as you?
yeah.
There
That's
is?
the
Okay.
point of the rank tiers. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Makes sense.
Yeah, that's important. I mean, that would be shitty if you just get someone on your team who's just never played the game before.
Well, that's the thing in Call of Duty they introduced in the past couple of years in multiplayer and in like the Warzone, where they have skilled matchmaking, which people kind of don't like. They kind of like to be able to pwn noobs,
Yeah.
Right.
as you say, right? So nowadays they don't have that pwning noobs.
25 kill
Thing.
streak, nuclear bomb.
Yeah, exactly, right? They don't really have
So
that as
dumb.
much nowadays.
So pointless.
Yeah, which also weird because that affects people's like KDRs are generally like not that high or low because you always got to play against the same skilled
Yeah.
people,
Yeah,
right? So it's not
right.
even that big of a deal. So if you have like a 1.1 KDR or 1.2 KDR, it's like, oh my god. Back when I would play COD, I had in like high school, I had like a 1.5 KDR, and that was like pretty good. But that's because you're playing against like a lot of noobs, and you just pulling the noobs, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, they account for that. But it's so funny because information like is the number one like most valuable currency in like a tactical game like that.
Right.
Do you have information? And is that information good?
Yeah.
Can you act
Is it
on that
worthy?
information?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to be constantly relaying. It's like, where did you die from? Who did you die to? What abilities have they used? What do they run out of? What weapon are they using? All of this stuff you have to be able to communicate. And you have to also be able to parse through that information, all that information you have,
Yeah.
and send the most valuable information
Exactly.
to the other person. And that's the optimal player, right? I don't even play like that, dude. I can't play like that because I get pissed off all the time. And so I'm like yelling at my teammates too. It's like, why aren't you there covering me? It's like, I'm holding a defuse. Why are you all like all the way off to a corner? And so I struggle with it. But dude, I've made a Smurf account, which is, playing with lower levels on purpose and like throwing your placement matches to get to the lowest level possible. And I played with those guys too.
Yeah.
Most of them are kids. You get all the girls in there too. So they're either kids or girls. And it's ridiculous because you have no information on anything that's happening.
Right. Because they don't really
Everyone's
know
too
how to
scared
relay
do
that.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And-
kids, girls, or me. I'm down there.
The thing is, once you start playing these games, you start to understand. Okay, there's a pattern to the way people do things.
Yeah.
There's a smart way to do things, and you start predicting what your enemies are gonna do based on
What they've done before.
Yeah, based on what the smart thing to do is. But at these lower levels, they don't know
Oh,
what the
so it's
smart
super
thing to do is.
unpredictable?
So
And so it's
su- yeah.
unpredictable as hell.
Does it make
That's
it
actually
You're
awesome.
going in like no information. Everyone's super unpredictable. Everyone's playing on a super crappy rig with super crappy internet, so the peeker's advantage is so much higher.
Right.
And so I have a tougher time
Trying to figure out
playing
how to do
against
it.
these lower
That's
ranked
interesting.
people than I do with people at my own rank.
That's actually
That's brilliant.
And it is tilting as hell. It's so tilting.
That's like that thing where if you're learning a martial arts, like the most dangerous person when you're training is like is the person who doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
Because they might accidentally mess
Yeah.
you up because they
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
what they're doing.
They're more likely
Yeah.
to hurt you than someone who actually knows what they're doing.
Exactly, especially for especially for training purposes.
Yeah,
not for
totally.
an actual fight. But
Yeah, I remember
That's
when I
insane.
went to do like a jiu-jitsu class, the guy was like, "Okay, just do whatever he just showed you. Don't try anything new. Don't try anything else. Just do what he showed you." I'm like, "Dude, you're like twice my size. You can beat the shit out of me." He's like, No. You'll step on me in a wrong way, and then you'll mess up my back because you just did something wrong." And I was like, "You know what? That makes a lot of sense. That's a good point."
Yeah.
that's when you're like, so you're saying I'll win the fight, and then you just do something unpredictable. Fuck yeah! I mean,
Dude, when the
yeah.
lower level players gain confidence and they start coming at you with their stuff, oh god.
They're these big cocky players. They're so
Like,
crappy
this
because they're just
unearned confidence. Yeah, it's brutal, man.
yeah.
I feel like I haven't played a game enough to get past that point.
To get past that, that's the
Like
best
that-
period.
That point where you think that you know what you're doing. You're like, yeah, this is great. I know what I'm doing. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
how did I die? This guy must be cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's me
Yeah,
before I
dude.
drop any FPS.
Hats called on you.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that's what I get like when I play like Warzone or like NHL or NBA. I'll be like playing, I'm like, oh yeah, from the freaking best player. Like look at that thing I did. But it's just like, oh yeah, I'm nothing and I'm crap.
It's so temporary
Compared to,
it's,
like, yeah.
momentary.
My brother and I and like we were playing like threes on NHL. So we were just with some random guy, and like the guys we were facing were just so much better than us that one of them just stopped. They just like went to the corner and just stopped, and so it was just 2 against 3, and they fucking wiped the floor.
Oh
with us.
god,
We were
that's
destroyed.
the
I'm like,
worst.
That's
Oh,
insane.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, kick
Well,
us
they're
down.
giving you a
Kick us while we're
handicap.
already down. Why
Yeah,
don't
they're
you?
like, we don't need the third person. Like, I think that's kind of nice to a
Yeah.
degree. It's like, oh no, we won't destroy you as bad.
I think it's
It
worse.
hurt
I
Kind
think
of.
it's the ego because it's like, oh, they with only
The
2
ego
people.
is-
Like, we already
Yeah.
know.
That's true,
Yeah.
but if you disregard your
factor.
ego, then it's one of those things where it's like, all right, this gives me a chance to learn something. Because if it was 3 against 3, we
Then you
would have
know
just
for
gotten
sure.
nothing.
Yeah,
we
that's
would have
true.
had no plays. Like we at least like scored a few goals, but it was like,
Doesn't-
oh, okay,
yeah.
you start kind of understanding a little bit of what they're doing.
That's like scoring a goal when you've got 5 seconds left and you know you're gonna get that goal, but you just choose not to because it's like, okay,
Yeah.
let's not be
I
a
don't
dick
wanna
about
hurt.
this.
Yeah, and like Rocket League, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'll do this to that guy.
Yeah. Oh man,
That's an
Rocket
inside
League.
joke for I'll tell you later. But yeah,
It's been a while. We haven't played that. in a
Rocket
while.
League, yeah, we haven't. That'd be fun. Let's hop back on that rock. Have you
Yeah.
played Rocket League, Tony?
I have not. But when we're talking about Among Us,
Oh yeah, we
Yes,
gotta get on
okay.
that.
Right.
I feel like you would be really good at Among Us.
dude, no,
I
I
don't
tried.
like it.
I tried playing Among Us with like people on a Discord server.
Yeah. No dice.
Dude, I'm terrible at it. My short-term memory sucks, dude. I can't remember anything. I was like, wait, did I see the blue guy or the green guy?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They all look
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of the same. It's just
Well,
color difference.
Play with people you know, because then everyone
Yeah.
starts just like picking like a color that
Yeah,
they're
everyone picks
stuck.
the same color each time too.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Let's do it. Like, when can we do that? Can we play
We
it?
can
Like,
literally
dude,
do that tonight. There's
The
4 of
ladies
us.
can get involved too.
Yeah,
that's
just-
true.
That would be
So
fun.
easy,
How many
yeah.
how many players do you? I
I think it's like
ideally-
4 to 10.
Okay, so we
Oh.
can do 4
Okay.
people and do an Among Us game.
Yeah.
We can literally do us,
like
and one
8
of us is
people,
Among
right?
Us.
Because I have it on my phone. My laptop's gonna
8
die
people,
eventually.
2 imposters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
yeah,
ideal.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
But it's probably better if you're in the same
Room, yeah.
right?
No, as long as you have access to Discord,
Yeah.
because like
You have
what
a
would
communication platform.
yeah, exactly, because you have to remain completely silent while you're actually playing the game.
Oh, really?
And when someone kills someone, no one's allowed to react. Everyone's got to like continue on as if everything's normal unless someone finds that body
Yeah.
or someone
They
suspects
call a
something
meeting,
or they
yeah.
call a meeting.
Oh wow.
So like it's ideal for literally COVID because it's like everyone's at home, but it's better to play with people you know, so
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of like
Right, you're more familiar.
I test relationships. You find out things about people, which is fun. Like
Oh,
yeah.
who's more skittish and who's
This Christian
Who's a
guy's a
good
piece
liar?
of shit. This
Yeah.
guy's a piece of shit.
He's a
I-
good liar.
yeah, but I never denied that, so
That's
I don't know
true.
why this
Yeah,
is
he's
new
honest about
information
that.
to
That's
you.
true. Yeah.
But like,
No, I'm stoked. We've been talking about it for like a month. Okay, let's do it like
Yeah, yeah.
sometime.
we can literally do that tonight.
Okay,
It's not hard.
yeah, let's do it tonight. Let's do it.
Yo, I'm
At
down.
least the first game.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I gotta be up till 2 a.m. to pre-order my PS5 at Real Canadian Superstore.
We have
online.
a social responsibility.
Superstar.
Yeah, to
Thomas.
keep them up. Yeah,
Keep
exactly.
'em
You've gotta
awake.
keep me up. If I don't
Yeah,
get this
exactly.
PS5, I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling everyone I got me get the PS5. They're gonna come over and play the
They're
PS5.
expecting it.
They're expecting it.
Lineup's
There's a
gonna
lot
be
of
outside his
responsibility.
apartment.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh yeah, COVID. 6 feet apart
Yeah.
and small groups, obviously, but.
But PS5.
All I am are the video games I own and my big TV. That's all I am. Without this, who am I?
Yep.
Yeah, I do
Nothing.
I do like your TV. It's nice.
Thank you.
It's quite nice.
Yeah.
The sound system too.
Yeah,
that
sound
helps.
system, TV, PS4, Xbox, Nintendo Switch,
VR.
VR,
Jesus.
and that's all I am. I'm nothing. That's all. That is my personality. Is that
You've got
Dude,
a
don't for-
legendary gaming station, man.
dude?
If
he
only,
was
if only
over-
had the what's it? The actual computer, the PC.
Yeah, but like, how do you? That's not really more of a. It's not a home theater thing. It's like to the.
Oh,
side.
you're going
it's
for the home
true.
theater.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the home theater. right?
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
yeah,
Dude, you should like look into like picking up some of the old school consoles.
well,
I'm talking Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
So-
Yes.
so on
Yes.
my Switch, I can play NES games and SNES games, but I do want to get, if they make a Dreamcast old school console, like what are they called again? The
Sega Dreamcast.
yeah, what do they call it when they the minis, right? If they do a Dreamcast mini, where they
Oh, because they've been doing the micro, like the smaller versions of
yeah,
the thing, right?
so
Yeah.
Oh,
do you know
right.
these, Tony?
Which one?
So they come out with like a new SNES, but it's like HDMI to your TV,
Yeah.
and it's got all the games loaded on it,
oh,
like all like the best games on it.
Well, the cloud. Yeah.
Yeah, so they did it with PlayStation, NES, SNES, and I think they're doing N64 and Dreamcast.
Dude, N64.
N64.
Man.
Yeah.
Dude, you get 4 controllers with that. You're
be
playing
awesome.
GoldenEye.
Dude,
Yes.
Dude, you having a laugh,
Best
right?
game ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. So yeah, you need like, I think it comes with 2, but you need 4 for like an
Yeah.
N64
Definitely.
for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Full experience.
Yeah, and that split screen,
Yeah.
4 corners, GoldenEye.
Dude.
Man, I remember on the
Where you can
screen
see
this
where
big,
everybody
you
is.
know?
That's half the fun is the screen
Yeah,
peek.
exactly.
Yeah.
Screen peek.
I'm not screen peeking.
Damn. But yeah, no.
See, yeah, back to it, man.
Dude,
like that
back
split
to
screen.
it. The split
I'm
screen. We
telling
always
you.
talk about this, how the new games. But I was playing actually with Tony Hawk, Pro Skater. Yeah, we were playing the Tony Hawk remake on Sunday, and we noticed there was a big frame rate dip
With the
with-
split screen.
With a split screen, and part of me again wants to is
Really,
saying-
on a new system?
yeah, it was a big. We probably went from like 60 to like 20.
What?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
What?
60 frames.
How?
Well, I guess the TV's refresh rate was 60 hertz.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're probably playing it because that game.
Is the
was
game?
probably
they
running-
remade it,
60 FPS.
It was probably running at 60 FPS. Because the game, it wasn't it's based on a game from
It's
20
a
years ago with
remaster,
like
yeah,
some
exactly.
with like modded graphics.
See,
But-
that would be another thing, playing first-person shooters cross-platform on a console versus a computer, is that I have a 144 hertz gaming monitor. And so my rig pushes, like, for example, Counter-Strike at like 400 frames per second.
Wow.
Smooth.
That's
So
insane.
God.
the thing about that is,
I want to
yeah,
see that. That looks
Yeah, I
just
don't really know what that's-
so
having high
smooth.
frames though, like what it does for you is it reduces the input lag,
Yeah.
right? And so if you're moving your mouse, that responds faster than versus if you're moving like a joystick on a console at 60 frames per second. I get to react faster than you. So even if
Yeah.
you're more accurate than me with the joystick,
Yeah.
No, it won't
I'm
matter.
still faster. And so like the hardware gives you an edge too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's insane.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
wow.
see like, the games. I don't play that level no matter what the game is. So like that's
Yeah, me neither.
yeah.
But
That's
I think that's pushing
some Elite
more for
4,
the.
That's some Elite 4 level shit.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, yeah.
That pushes more towards like I really like the idea of people just having the option of all right, who are you cross-platforming with, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just I don't know. That's awesome. I like the idea of because then you're like all right, I want to see how I compare against like if I'm playing on console against someone on a PC and just be like oh wow, I'm getting shredded. All right, back to that was fun.
It does
You
give
go
you
down.
a good excuse though if you're playing like I'll play like the Warzone and like we'll die. I'm like oh that's total PC player
Yeah,
man. That's a total PC like oh. So anytime we die we say that. So
It's a good excuse.
It's a great excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Your ego is less hurt.
and that's all I care about.
That's true, right?
Yeah.
Well-
Yeah, man. All right.
I guess we got to wrap it up, but it's a shame that yeah, it's a shame like the reason that you stopped playing Counter-Strike is like the way that
Yeah.
Steam
Steam
team
just fucked you over.
Maybe they'll make
Well,
Counter Strike 2.
you know what the funny thing is
20 years.
they were trying to
It has been.
the idea of like
Yeah.
how Steam started coming about was because like the patches that they would release for Counter-Strike was like a whole hassle to try and download because it became so popular that they ended up having like hours and hours to download these patches all around the world because it became a global phenomenon, right? So like that's what apparently that's what I heard like planted the seed of like Valve starting Steam in order to have it that people can just download stuff much faster so they can just like update their games no problem. So
Huh.
Counter-Strike created Steam, which screwed you over.
Wow.
So they're the ones to blame.
Like, in a sense.
It's like a full circle. It's kind of weird.
So
It's like a-
Counter Strike made Steam that fucked you over playing Counter.
Well, they didn't make it, but they were like
But they were a huge
they
factor.
Honestly,
started
the
planted the
creation
idea of it, yeah,
right.
because of the
You know
patches
what?
and the downloads, which is kind of insane, like how full circle that whole thing.
What a
was.
bunch of circle jerks, you know.
And on that note,
So next episode, we're going to talk about. That's our joke we do.
Oh,
It's
that's
like-
your
yeah,
that's your ending.
yeah.
It's
No,
like
now
Avengers
this is
Assemble,
our ending.
but you don't say assemble.
Now it's our ending.